My name is Zach, and I'm a Nottingham Trent University student studying media production, and I'm here to give you my top 10 reasons as to why I love reading and books. 1. Books are great company. I didn't actually start reading until I was about maybe 10, 11 years old when I started secondary school, and the main reason is because I really didn't enjoy reading as a child. I actually used to hate it as a child quite a bit, and I didn't really take it too seriously until I reached secondary school because I felt that that was a new, more mature stage in my life where I could actually take reading a little more seriously. And I guess just because I started seeing my friends do it as well, and I just thought, okay, maybe this is something that I'll like to if I don't necessarily have it forced. 2. Books are pretty exciting. I kind of like the feel of having a new book that I've been told or recommended by someone. I love the idea that whenever I buy a new book or whenever I've been recommended a book, that I could just look it up quite easily, but still not have too many spoilers, which kind of keeps things both exciting and mysterious for me at the same time. I think the mystery factor is what I quite appreciate there, because I'm still able to find out things within the book that I know that I'll still love, if that makes sense. Like, I know I haven't spoilt it too much for myself. 3, books help me forget about life, about everything. Books just help me forget. Chronic escapism is by no means a healthy way to go about living life, but given the circumstances that we're all in thanks to the current situation, I feel like forgetting life or just forgetting all the toxic things in life at the moment can do us so many favors, and it's a really good way to escape any issues that we're going through or don't necessarily feel that we want to deal with. It's a good way to just live in another place, another time, another dimension of sorts, and I really enjoy that as well. Even if it's just for a little while, it keeps me happy. 4, books challenge my perspective on just about anything, particularly certain types of books, I guess you could say. Certain books that challenge political issues. I guess they kind of challenge the way I think, the way I perceive new things. They don't necessarily teach me how or what to think, but they do challenge my current beliefs, my outlook on life as well, which I find can be helpful. It definitely gives a better insight to another person's point of view, and I really think that's important because it gives me a new perspective to look at things, and it makes me think about things differently as well. Number 5, books help me remember. They help me remember just certain words, maybe certain phrases that I've never come across before. They help me remember things about my course that I didn't even know could be relevant. They help me remember just certain things at certain times, which I find pretty interesting because I never intend on remembering certain things, but then thanks to books, something just kind of pops up in my head and I think, wow, okay. So it kind of also helps me, it also serves as a sort of reminder as well, which is pretty cool. 6, a good book can take me on a really decent adventure, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be an adventure-based book or an adventurous book rather. I feel like any good book can definitely take me on a journey of self-realization, of discovery, of anything really, and I appreciate that about books because they also help me learn something new about the world, about anything really. So that's pretty interesting. 7, books overall kind of help with my communication skills, which I find that's probably the most important point actually. I think books can help with your communication skills because I find that I'm always learning new words and I kind of just jot them down in my little notebook and I think to myself, okay, later on this evening I'm going to go look up what this word means. I'm going to note down like where I found it, and I'm going to think about how I'm going to use it in a sentence, how I can use it in my academic research paper, or how I can use it on someone else, just something like that. I think it's really cool how we just pick up new words from books and how we're able to discover new words every time we read something, or every time we read an article. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a book, but I think that the more we read, the more that we're improving our communication skills, the more articulate we are as well. 8, I think reading books definitely brings people closer together, because there's something that can connect. There's something that you can relate with someone else about a character, about how you view the certain theme of the book, the genre, anything about the book really. And I think that's really important, because you're able to relate to someone else in real time, in real life, and you're able to share that experience with them, and that's really nice. It just kind of connects people and makes people feel closer together. 9, books dare you to grow. They challenge the way you think. They challenge the way you perceive new ideas, and that kind of starts at a young age. From when I was forced to read by my mom, and even in school, I started off from children's books, and then from there you go on to more mature books, and then as a teenager you get into young adult books. As a young adult you get into more serious things. Then you start reading political books, nonfiction books. You start reading. It's like a journey of perseverance almost, and I think that's really important, because you keep pushing new boundaries every time you read. You keep moving forward with the books that you read, and I think that's really important. And you can always revert back as well to books from your childhood. You can always take a trip down memory lane, or a nostalgic read, or see what books influenced you at a certain time or a certain point in your life, and you can always refer to that, which is pretty amazing. My 10th and final reason I love reading and books is because they challenge your imagination. And in case anyone was wondering, I'm actually currently reading Rainbow Milk by Paul Mendes. I started it not too long ago, and I think so far it's a pretty good book. It's really interesting, and it's about an intersectional coming-of-age story, and it's really interesting and thought-provoking, because it's a coming-of-age story that follows the life of a 19-year-old man called Jesse McCarthy, and how he grapples and struggles with racial and sexual identity growing up during the Windrush generation, and how he makes a fresh start as a young man in London. And I just think it's really fascinating to see how his life kind of turns out within a period of time where things were different, and it's across generations, times, and cultures. But I think for the most part it explores so much that it's worth a read, and it's really important. And it's just really interesting, and it's a really good read, and I would hugely recommend it.